What's up, Facebook? It's another sane interview today. I'm gonna show you guys. We got Dash and Grizzly in here. We got Dash in here. So, that being said, we gonna get him in here. Gotta get him in here. My phone would stop fucking being loud. Oh man, there it is. Gotcha. Got you, bro.
Yo, yo.
Yo, what's up, man? How's it going?
So far, so good. It's a fucking snow day. It's a blizzard out here. So I ain't
Oh,
fucking
yeah?
driving. Hell
Heck
no, I
yeah.
ain't about to drive. So yeah, I'm setting up this whole, about to do some music today as well. So I'm just
Nice.
getting all that shit set up. Fuck yeah, I'm gonna
Heck yeah.
take this time, use it wisely.
Right. So, with that being said, well, is there anything that you would like to say before we start this up?
Not necessarily, other than I apologize for if my camera fucking falls because this fucking thing doesn't want to stay. It's a piece of shit.
I
Yeah.
feel you. I got
Yeah,
my phone leaning against my laptop right now, so
you gotta make it work however you can. I got so many like stands and shit for phones being on the dashboard and off of the windshield, just trying to make shit work while driving. Got one of these extras, and it's the dog shit. My God.
oh man, you cracked me up, man. Oh man, that's why I had to get an interview with you, bro. We need this energy back. So, with that being said, I'm gonna ask you some questions just to let you know this thing is for looks. I don't record. I don't want to record you. I don't want to get in trouble for that. So
It's all
I
good.
don't record you. So, anyway, when and why did you start doing what you do?
Oh my God. Oh, dude. It's really hard to determine what you mean by that because I'm a video content creator. I'm a
Right,
songwriter. But it all starts with me playing guitar at like 8 years old. So I mean, it's been about 20 years that I've been playing guitar.
right,
Uh, but this whole thing that I do is barely even a songwriting kind of venture anymore. Like Brandon, God, people got me calling him Brandon. Fucking Black Napoleon. Frenchie says I'm not a songwriter. Like he knows that I'm a video content creator. I think in terms of like storyboards. And when I'm writing a
right.
song, it's all about telling stories. So I'm fascinated with stories, learned how to play guitar at a really young age. I was lucky that my parents recognized that I was musically inclined, but how could you not when a kid's running around with a broom pretending that it's going to be a guitar at 3.5 years old? So
Right.
they paid attention, they saw a pattern, and said, let's fucking get him one. So yeah, it all starts with my parents getting me a guitar when I was 8. So yeah,
Heck yeah, man. I play
yeah,
guitar. I got an Ibanez myself, bro. Electric acoustic. So
nice, nice. Ibanez is where it's at. They're pretty good.
yeah, my friend helped me out. So
Nice. That's where it's at.
so do you play any other instruments other than guitar?
Well, I've got what every producer has. I've got a MIDI keyboard, you know, so one of these motherfuckers, just ready to go at a moment's notice. I play bass, I play guitar, and I tried my hand out at drums. Just didn't, I didn't jive with it
Yeah,
as much.
right.
So I started like, I don't know if you've ever seen any Candy Rat kind of videos, like Andy McKee, that drifting video
Oh
where he's like
yeah.
hitting the guitar. So I can play drifting. I can
Okay.
play almost through 5 or 6 of his songs. So I ended up learning how to write stuff in the overhand tapping and double tapping, doing the percussive thing,
Right.
snapping as a form of percussion while I'm playing, shit like that. So I mean
You
that,
know,
yeah.
So I know that you said, I think you said like your family's musical.
No, 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 no.
Oh,
And the only
I
one.
might have heard that.
Yeah, I mean, my family is musical in the sense that they'll listen to shit, sort of, kinda, but they listen to it like really quietly in the car. I remember, like, we would take long trips and whatnot, and it was fucking brutal because it was just, I'll sit back there and read because they would like talk politics and shit, and I just wasn't interested. Or,
Right,
wouldn't be any music on the radio.
right.
My dad liked music, and after I started playing and got pretty good at it. He tried to take up drums. I didn't have the heart to tell him that he was dog shit. Uh, he used to do this thing where he would guilt me into jamming with him, and I just
Right,
didn't want to because we were
right.
on different skill levels. And it was just like it was holding his hand. It was some fucking you know uh, you know training wheel shit. And
Oh,
I'd be
yeah.
jamming, and he'd just be fumbling along trying to catch the beat, and it's like this is not working. So I mean that's rough. That's about as musical as they got. But yeah,
Right.
yeah.
So we're gonna get back on with the next question with this trusty notebook. I always bring up the trusty notebook. You're gonna hear that a lot. Like so
The fucking Blues Clues shit. The
yeah,
handy dandy notebook.
bro.
Let's go.
You know. But with that being said, which famous music artist do you admire and why?
So of course it depends. It goes by year. It changes constantly. Right
Right.
now it's somewhere like Joyner Lucas. Fantastic.
Woo. Right.
Uh, Everything about Joyner Lucas is the kind of thing I'm going for. He thinks in terms of visuals. He thinks
Right.
in terms of what kind of powerful thing like he can say with a single frame. I remember when I first watched Ross Cappuccioni, like his music video where he tells the story of the guy who gets shot, and then the second half of the song is he's telling the story from the perspective of the guy who shot him, and it was just mind blowing. It was like this is next level shit. So I mean,
Right, man.
when I'm thinking about people who think on so many different levels simultaneously about how to present information, oh, my mind gets blown.
Right.
We're used to thinking in music in terms of people musically trying to tell a story, but when he takes it 3 or 4 levels of abstraction above just listening, it's like, oh, the game has changed. Everything is different now.
Right.
So I mean, that's the kind of thing that makes me reconsider what can be done.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Right. Man, a lot of people say this. I like comedy rap. I don't know why.
Mhm.
Always like comedy rap. I like Lil Dicky. Might
Yeah,
sound
Lil
corny.
Dicky. Yeah, no,
I
you
love
know,
him, bro.
I like Lil Dicky a lot. I like Lil Dicky a lot. I think there are certain songs where it's like, this is disrespectful to hip hop. But there are other songs like that you can tell how much work went into them. In the
Right.
exact same vein of Joyner Lucas, the animated uh, professional rapper song with Snoop Dogg, you can
Right.
tell some collaborative effort went into that. Whether it's the animation, whether it's Snoop's verse, because we hear Snoop Dogg's verse of any of Snoop Dogg's verses, it sounds like Snoop Dogg. It's whatever. He's not impressive.
Right.
He's fun to listen to. It's all good. But when you hear him on that, there's so much personality clash between him and Dickie, and it's like you what, white boy? You think what? What are you talking about? And it's like, oh,
Right.
I think I'm hitting a different level of this shit. Maybe you aren't getting it, and it's so much fun to listen to somebody. Uh-oh. And it was his first album, and it was like an hour and a half, hour and 40 minutes. Like, that's just an ambitious project overall. So, I can
Right.
see how people, have him wear on their nerves, but objectively, I can listen to 3/4 of the song on that professional rapper album and really enjoy it. So,
Right.
I fuck with Lil Dicky.
I got a kick out of it, man. I got a
Yeah.
kick out of it. It's
Fuck yeah.
awesome. I can't wait to see what he does next, man.
Yeah.
So, have you ever performed in public?
Oh yeah, I that's how I made my living for a while. There was this place called Ruckus in Raleigh, North Carolina, and I played there every week. I started going to open mics, and I earned weekend spots, and I really enjoyed it. because the way they did it is, you just hooked up to the house system. All you needed to do was bring your guitar. So it was
Right.
like, well, I can make money, but like this is also a night where I'm kind of running a club, because
Right.
what happened ended up being that, I just got the stage, and whatever I wanted to do, I could do. So instead of
Right.
just me being up there, I would say, hey, and get in touch with some of my friends, like, I've got ruckus for this night. You want to get on stage? So
Hell
so
yeah.
we'd all be able to drink for free, eat pizza, and no charge. And we got 15% of any bar sales between 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. And then we'd split that up between us. So I mean,
Heck
that was
yeah.
a consistent thing where it was like, okay, I don't like when music becomes work. I end up resenting it and hating it. And I also I learned how to talk to a crowd, because when people get on stage and they get nervous, what they do, instead of like looking at individuals, they'll just amorphously talk to the crowd or look at the floor or not engage anybody directly. The best way to
Right.
actually connect with a crowd is to pick out somebody in the crowd for about 5 seconds, talk to them, move on to somebody else, making eye contact. When they make
Right.
eye contact with you, you don't look away. You just engage more, and you'll get people to smile, and you'll get people to
Right.
laugh and interact with you.
Right.
And when people don't like speaking publicly, I automatically know that that's why, because
Right.
they're not focused on other people. That's what being self-conscious is. You're focused on yourself. Look at the floor, look at the ceiling. Don't look at anybody directly. You look out and just see a blob of people and think, "Oh shit. Oh, I'm dashing. I put a guitar. This next song is called, and they're just so
Yeah.
focused on themselves. And if you look at an individual and connect with them for 10 or 15 seconds and just keep that going back and forth, that problem almost automatically disappears. So long as you're all right doing one-on-one conversations, you would be all right on stage if you approached it as though you were having a series of one-on-one conversations. So yeah.
Heck yeah. So, with that being said, man, like, how do you handle a mistake like during a performance?
Um, it depends on how big the mistake is. I used to play Rap God live, and
Okay.
that that is a mistake-ridden song. You can't get through it without stumbling. So when it
Right.
came down to getting to that some of them you some of them what I gotta do to get it through the human part, it's just a matter of
Okay.
not getting off beat. And because sometimes you'd have like people playing drums with you, or a cajon is this little box, because I play all acoustic stuff when I do live
Yeah.
performances. And when somebody's playing along with you on a cajon, while you're playing that, either you get mixed up, or they get mixed up, or you both get mixed up, and it's a whole clusterfuck. It's like, I should have warned you. I should have warned you to just let me have this one. The vast majority of my mistakes, therefore, come from playing with other people, because the
Right.
music I play tends to shift between time signatures. I really like common time, which is 4/4. But if I want to do something that has this 7/8 section, 7 quarter notes, or rather 7/8 notes in a measure, in order to build up for something, especially building up tension, having some,
Right.
dissonance in the music, and they don't know about it, and I kind of forget that, oh, if you don't know this, and you're just going 1, 2, 3, 4, and you're used to going 1, 2, 3, 4, counting things out, we're not going to jive, because I'm going to throw
Right.
something at you in a bridge of a song that doesn't necessarily mesh with the way you think music works, because you're used to some simple 1, 2, 3, 4 shit. So the vast majority of my fuck ups come from playing with other people who I haven't corresponded with beforehand to say, hey, don't play with me on this song because I fuck shit up on it. So yeah, that
Right.
yeah.
So, with that being said, do you get nervous before like a competition or like a performance? Do you get nervous?
I don't know if nervous is the right word, because like I certainly recognize that there's something on the line, because almost
Right.
every time I go on stage, I recognize, oh, this is work. This is work. And I it's almost like recognizing that when I go up there, I have to like suspend a bit of my personality, because I
True.
can't go up there like I go in the comments section of the Standard. I have to maintain
Right.
some level of professionalism. And, you want to be yourself to a certain extent and turn that part all the way up to 11 because you want
Right.
them to buy drinks. That's what I'm nervous about. I'm nervous about playing the kind of music that makes people want to drink. I'm nervous about playing the kind of music that makes people want to get up and dance. I'm nervous about playing the kind of music that is both appropriate for a certain percentage of the people to be listening to and singing along or something like that versus the kind of music that's background noise, because
Right.
the only places I ever do are the kind of places that already have a crowd in them because of the bar's popularity. I don't want to sell tickets. I want to sneak in to a place that's already popular, get a percentage of the bar sales, and dip out before dawn. I don't want to do that promotional work. So yeah,
Right.
yeah,
Okay. So,
pretty much.
what advice would you give for people here at the Standard?
Oh man, there's a lot, but I guess like the most important is to fucking show up. Like if we really think about it, the most common thing that happens is somebody signing up and not showing up. So I mean,
Right.
it's just show up. Like just don't shoot yourself in the foot before the race starts. Don't put yourself in a position as a person of saying, "Oh, I'm going to do this," and then not do it, because the debt on that falls on your soul. Like you
Right.
are aware when you say you'll do something and you don't do it. You're aware when you'll say you'll do something and you don't do the appropriate reading or communicating to recognize when something starts. We don't have to deal with that really. All we say is, oh, it's a normal round because fuckface McGee didn't show up, but fuckface McGee is going to recognize, oh, I've said that I'll do this and didn't do it a million
Right.
times in my life, and I'm not breaking that pattern anytime soon. Ultimately, every time you do that, you something of you gets lost. Just
Right.
fucking do it. It's that whole Shia LaBeouf bullshit. That's my advice. Watch the Shia LaBeouf "Do It" video. Just fucking do it. I'm sick of this shit, man. So
Google
yeah,
it.
yeah,
Just
fuck yeah.
Google it. So, with recording sessions, man, like what makes it fun for you?
Hmm. Um. I'm getting into the point where I've been able to mix my stuff, but I've never had something really really nice. I've never had the kind of plugins that I have now. I bought a $1,999 Waves plugin. It was on sale for $250, which meant yes, please. So I got that shit, and it's the diamond bundle, and I've been fucking with that, and that has changed everything. Because used to be I'd hire people, I would outsource people mixing and mastering it. And when you're just recording things, I record at the lowest possible volume and then I send it off. And the problem with that is after it's been fucked with and tweaked, it gets sent back to me and it's like, oh, that shit's not right. I didn't hear it right. So I'm learning to re-fall in love with the recording process while I've got all the extensions at my fingertips to tweak it as I do it, to hear
Right.
all the things that I couldn't hear beforehand because I
Heck
just
yeah.
didn't have that oomph in it before I sent it off. So now my I am no longer limited by hardware or software. The only thing that limits me is the my willingness to learn about something that my creativity could, express itself in a new way. Because I
Right.
still have a lot to learn about these plugins. I've only
Right.
researched about 15 out of 50 of them. So if I got
Hey, right.
35 left and I'm making my shit sound decent, I could be making it sound fantastic. And it's a matter of putting the work in and letting my skills catch up to my imagination, my creativity. And once my skills with the plugins are up there with my creativity, I don't see any real limits for myself in terms of what kind of sounds I can produce. So the fact that I'm in a learning stage is enough for it to be fun. I don't give a fuck what I'm doing. If I'm not good at it while I'm interested in it, holy shit, I can
All right.
spend hours just fucking with something, because the more I discover about how I can manipulate something, the better the more like excited it gets me. I absolutely fascinated with that learning stage. I'm a white belt, is what it is.
Right.
You gotta have that white belt mentality
Pardon.
when you're not good at something that you want to be good at.
Right.
I don't know shit, but I'm getting better, and that's the fun part, getting
Hey,
better.
right, right. With that being said, I got a question right here that goes perfect with that.
Cool.
So, you know how that acapella challenge, right, is going on
Mhm.
right now?
Yeah.
Would you like to do your acapella challenge on my interview?
No, no. I'm
Okay.
a composer.
I
I
tried.
mean, yeah, you did. I don't do that. It's not something I take pride in. I don't
Right,
understand the you can't be a real MC unless you freestyle or unless you do shit like that. Because I don't even improvise on guitar, but I'm a
right,
master guitarist. Like, I mean,
right,
I've mastered the guitar and I don't improvise. I write, I structure, I purposefully put everything into something before I put it out.
right,
And I don't care you know, to put something out there that isn't polished, that isn't well thought out, because everything about me and what I put out has that air about it. So I
right.
don't necessarily I don't think it does anything for me to engage in a challenge like that. So
Okay.
and it
Do you
doesn't interest me.
freestyle? Do
Hmm?
you freestyle?
No. I mean, while I'm okay, so my writing process is entirely different than it used to be. I freestyle while I'm driving and I'm listening to instrumentals because
Hey, keep
what'll
doing
happen is
it.
I can't sit down and write anymore. Writing is done. Like that's a dead art form to me, sitting down and writing lyrics. Now I'm at the wheel for 8 to 11 hours at a time, and then I'll sit there and I'll memorize 4 to 8 bars because I'll just sit there and I'll da 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 da, focus on the
Right,
cadence,
right, right,
like you
right.
just scat the whole thing out, just bruh, and then I'll recognize something I really like, plug in the words, build up one line, say the one line over and over and over and over, build up a second line, be like, oh, I really like that, and then a third line, and that takes about 30 minutes, and then I say I need the fourth line to have oomph. So I spend another 30 minutes. It takes a straight hour to come up with 4 lines. And then I'll sit there, I'll press record on the phone while the music is playing in my earphones. I'll say what the instrumental is, what its key is, what its BPM is, and then while I'm listening to it, I'll spit the lines out. And then I'll tell myself to listen to this again and to not forget it and to keep writing. I'll press
Okay.
stop, and then I'll have another hour go by, and I'll do the same thing with 4 more lines. So that's my writing process. And in a sense, that's freestyling. But it is not line after line after line. It's line, line,
Right.
line, 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 same line over and over and over. Then I come up with another and just keep doing it until I memorize it on a physical level, like with the way my mouth actually works. That's like the muscle memory of writing. So
I can
that's
tell
my
you how your mouth works sometimes. I mean, sometimes you say things, you know, you just say things sometimes, man. I'll be like, oh, he said that.
yeah, I did say
Uh-oh.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, man. With that being said, how do you balance your music with your outside, like job, life, how do you balance both?
My job is perfect for this because I get to do the music bit while I'm working. My job is it allows me to do my favorite thing in the world, which is listen to podcasts and listen to audiobooks. All I do is drive. I drive this big fucking 18-wheeler all
Heck yeah.
day, every day. There are no days off. I'm the only reason I'm able to fuck with this interview right now in the middle of the day is it's a snow day. Like I'm not doing anything at all. Blizzard out there. Fuck all of that. No sense. Yeah, so I
Oh
get
man,
up
make me laugh,
whenever I
bro.
want. I drive, and while I'm driving, I'm working on my craft. I'm listening to the things that I'm interested in. I'm
Heck
getting
yeah.
smarter. I'm learning. I'm listening to professors and college course lectures, Robert Sapolsky, Jordan Peterson. I'm listening to the people, fucking Camille Paglia, people who are so unbelievably smart. I feel so stupid listening to the things that I listen to while I'm driving. And then I need a break and say, oh, let's put a fucking instrumental on, I'm dying. Because I just get overwhelmed by somebody's intelligence. And
Right.
then I put everything I've learned to use. I try to make smart shit if I can. I try to make
Right.
semi-educational songs in some way. So, I mean, my job does not interfere. I would do this for free. I don't even notice when paychecks come in because I'm making 2 to 3 times what I made when I was working at a plant. I don't realize when I have a paycheck coming in. All I do is, like, I check my bank account one day and I'm like, oh, that's bigger than it was yesterday. Must be Friday. You know, I'm never worried about money. I'm never
Like,
worried about, like, the fact that this is work because it's barely work. And it allows me to do my favorite thing in the world. I am the most fortunate person, as far as I'm concerned, that I know. I'm so glad to be in this field of work. I don't think it interferes at all with what I actually want to do in terms of music and writing and listening to podcasts. It is tailor-made for my existence because it's chaotic and I don't like structure. I mean,
right.
and I've been to almost every single state. And whenever I'm off the job for 2 to 3 weeks at a time, because I'm on the road for 4 months at a time, I get basically a whole month off where I can leave the country if I want to. And I don't have an apartment. I have a storage unit, so I'm not spending a lot of money on a place that I'm never going to be.
Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do, man. You gotta
Uh,
do what
yeah.
you do, man.
So yeah,
Gotta make shit work. I've
it's barely a job, like, and it doesn't interfere in the
always
slightest.
wanted to try that, man.
Yeah,
Hey,
it's awesome.
can I call you? Can I call you Mater? Like Mater, but without the tuh.
That's terrible. The worst thing ever.
I mean, you back up big rig, so I figured like you know
Mm, no, sir.
you don't
Mm-mm.
back them up, backing them up.
I do. I just don't nothing but mater. Like fuck on that here, man. I don't like places with accents. They're suspect to me. Never know what somebody with an accent's gonna do to you, man. Like, goddamn, I ain't about that life.
Oh man, you're right. I just had to bust out some funnies, man.
Some funnies.
Some sarcasticness in my life.
Yeah.
Some high energy. But with that being said, where you from, man?
North Carolina.
Woo!
So, yeah. Fucking woo, Ric Flair state. Yeah. Woo. That's right. North Carolina. I don't like it. I don't miss it. Like, I released that verse and hook yesterday talking about all my friends back in North Carolina. The ones who are such good friends that they don't ask me to come back. And the only people who do ask me to come back are the ones who want me to wallow in their bullshit misery in the places that I come from.
Right.
Anybody who knows me and that cares about me doesn't want me to come back. Like they're
Right.
like, so I mean that's the big thing. I don't rep my city, man. I don't rep where I'm from, and I don't understand that. I especially just concerning where I'm from. Fuck all
Right.
that. Yeah.
Right.
No
Well,
loyalty.
I'm from Grand Rapids, Michigan. That's
Ah,
where I'm from. So, with that being said, have you lived like other places other than that? I mean, I know you say you're, truck driver and you go all over, but have you lived like
yep.
actually anywhere other than that?
Yep. I when I was 14, 15, yeah, 15, we moved to Pennsylvania, and that was just after ninth grade year. So going into 10th grade, I moved schools up to Pennsylvania. Then after 10th grade, we moved to a different spot of Pennsylvania and switched schools again. And then we moved again after my 11th grade year, and I was like, fuck all that, and I dropped out. So yeah, we moved a lot from 15 to 18, and then I bounced. But Pennsylvania, the rest of my family is still in Pennsylvania right now. My mom, my stepdad, my sister lived there for a while. She ended up moving back down to North Carolina. My brother stayed in North Carolina, but everybody else, and I got to Pennsylvania, and I was just fucking shocked by how fucking cold it gets. Like, within 1 month of being in Pennsylvania, I had lived in North Carolina and never seen more than an inch or so of snow, and we got 18 inches in the first few months. I was like, this is bullshit. Fuck this. It was terrible. I hated it. So, you know,
So, if you could shout out anybody right now, who would it be?
what, in the standard?
Standard, whoever, one person right now, who would it be?
Princess Stephanie Love. Yeah, she's awesome. She's part of the It's Time for Tokes family website that we used to have together. Pretty dope. Whole group. It's Time for
That's
Tokes
dope.
people. You're a stoner, so you get it.
Yeah, yeah, I get that. That's a whole nother story. Whole nother interview. So, can't ask that question. It's on a new page. We already got to that right when you busted into this interview, so I can't ask that question. Damn it. Who brought you here to the Standard?
Man, that was so long ago, I don't even remember. I feel like one of the only people I knew was Lil Spieler back in the day. That was like in the early 30s, early round 30 area. But I think I was here even before that. I used to go by Ryan Gray then, that's my actual name. But then I became Dash and Grizzly, and by the time I actually told Frenchie to sign me up, he was like, "Oh, we got new talent." I'm like, "I'm not new, bitch. Been here a while." So I mean, I don't even remember like when or who brought me here. All I knew is I started seeing, some serious activity in this bitch because I turned
Right.
off the notifications immediately. I got invited to the group. I was like, fuck all that, because I was just getting notifications like crazy. It was like off, and I didn't think about it for a long time. And eventually, like, I got re-added or something, and then I joined the round. So that was around 37. So, a good 43 rounds ago. Yeah.
So, who man, I can't talk. I got no water. Who most motivates you here most and why?
Here,
Yeah, at the Standard.
nobody. I'm not really motivated by anybody here. No, nothing anybody here does like makes me think, oh man, they're making moves in a way that like I am interested in. They're probably making moves, but like I am not the type of person to get like inspired by other people. Nobody motivates me. Like that shit all comes from within. Like, I never see somebody and going, I really should be doing more. It's like that doesn't happen to me. That doesn't happen to me at all.
Oh,
So,
man. So, top 5 artists in the Standard that you enjoy listening to.
legit Congo Mad Stack. Uh, hmm,
Shout out
mm,
Congo.
Frosty. Legit Congo Mad Stack. Frosty. Fuck. Exile. Matt Speaks. Matt Speaks is dope. You people should go subscribe to his YouTube channel. He's dope. And
Oh,
probably SK. SK is up there. Tie Deck was up there at one point. Tie Deck was a fucking monster. I probably already said more than 5. Yeah, but
yeah,
those people are all really fucking good. So
right.
yeah,
That's dope. That's dope. I'm gonna have to check those out. I'm gonna have to go back to this interview and watch it, and then or
yeah,
even message me dude, so I could check it out, or send me a link, bro, so I can link up with
yeah.
them too.
Maybe I'll do a standard historian thing with all of their subs, the ones I just mentioned. Legit, Frosty, Tie Deck, SK,
That'd be dope.
and yeah, all those. Yeah, I'll do a standard historian thing and break down one of their best subs. That's what I'll do. Make it really easy on you.
That's a
Yeah.
great idea. You just came up with a great idea.
Well, there
Shout
you
out
go.
you for coming
Yeah,
up with a great idea.
there we
So,
go.
what program do you use for recording?
Reaper, REAPER.FM is where you can download it. It's 100% free, but you can choose to pay for it if you so wish. And if you don't, all you got to do is sit through 5 seconds of saying, oh, you've used Reaper for this long, and this many hours, this many days. And then 5 seconds passes, and you just click continue using or keep evaluating or something like that. It's all 100% there. Like, you don't get like a demo version where it's only like partially available. You get the whole fucking thing. It's great. And you can, if you're used to using something like Pro Tools, all you got to do is go into the setting and change the format, hit Pro Tools, and it looks like Pro Tools to you. If you like Logic, go in there, hit Logic, it looks like Logic to you. They change their format so that it shifts and rearranges based off the program you're used to using so that things aren't confusing. Like,
That's
Reaper's
dope.
dope.
I'm gonna have
Yeah,
to check that out.
yeah.
Is there any other like programs that you would recommend using to others who are beginners?
It really depends. I would probably just say Reaper all the way. But if you want to do something like utilize a MIDI keyboard to make actual beats themselves, I would do something like Personas, which they have a Prime version, or at least I think it's Personas that I'm talking about. That's
I
pretty
think
good. Yeah, but I mean that's pretty good if you're interested in like figuring out a beat. I wouldn't use your fucking iPhone or your iPad to get one of those fucking 9.99 apps. Like fuck out of here. You spend the money on a fucking MIDI keyboard, or just fucking like if you're like on the beginnings, fucking Fruity Loops, man. But I assume if you're talking about rapping, always Reaper. Just fucking get it. It's good.
I have to check that
Good
out.
shit.
How did you find it?
Research. Spent all day just sitting there, like putting myself into paralysis by analysis. What about this one? What about this one? No, no, I don't know about that. Well, what about this one? What about this one? Just all day, just like convincing myself to, and then convincing myself not to download something. And eventually, I just picked Reaper, and it was like this shit dope. Like it doesn't have great plugins for its stock stuff, but it has a good enough like plugins for if you're just learning, you can pick that shit up and say, "Oh, I now understand how EQ works. I now understand how compressors work. I now understand how to use a saturation knob. I now understand how to properly use reverb, how to set up the time, how to set up the wet and dry part of the mix." So I mean, you can get your essentials from a pretty shitty set of stock tools, and you can import your own VSTs, which is just, plugins, third-hand party plugins. You just drag them into the folder for your Reaper files that says effects, and you can get something like Mellow Muse. Mellow Muse is great freeware, and all kinds of different things. All you got to do is type in free VSTs, and it'll give you some sites that say like 50 best VSTs of 2018 or 2017, whatever year, and you go through them and you recognize like I need a new EQ. Just click that shit, download it, drag the file itself into the system files of your Reaper thing, go to plugins, bam, you can now use it. Like, it's so fucking easy to use good freeware, like, with Reaper. So, I mean, it's the way to go.
So, with that being said, what is your goal here at the standard? Do you have one?
So, something has happened with this writing process changing. I no longer sit down and write, and I've written every single one of my subs while sitting down. And since I've implemented this new writing while driving style, where it's focused on the quality of my cadences and the way that my voice sounds more so than how things look to me, because it may very well be that my biggest problem has been visually looking at sentences and saying that looks like it works, because that's a lie that your brain tells you. It doesn't matter if it looks like it works. It matters how it sounds, how it works. So my goal is to win round 81 through 89 so that it's just me and Frenchie in the 90th round, ninth diamond round, so he can finally live up to this "you don't want bars from me" bullshit he's been saying since round 40. Because he's never made a diss track about me, and he knows that he fucking shouldn't.
Oh my god, bro, you cracking me up with this right now. I want to see this.
Mm-hmm.
Man, Tony needs to put this in his news. Okay, so is there any local artists that you've actually like, let's say, like came across while traveling around like
No, I haven't. like engaged with any musical part of any city except Chicago, and even then it was just as a spectator, and I was just at some bars having some beers, and I didn't even talk about music with people. Like I was just there to have a good time. I didn't want the fact that I played music to have anything to do with my day off, and I think I was musically fatigued at that point while on the road, and I just wanted to have a good night. And I've spent quite a few nights in Chicago because they tend to just send me there and then have nothing for me once I'm there. So I just go into the city the days afterwards and have a good time. But other than that, not really been involved on at any level within any city I've gone to. But eventually I will. Like if I spend enough time on the road, eventually I'll get to the point where it's like, okay, I've got two guitars in this bitch. They're up above. I got an acoustic bass and an acoustic electric. So I can just take one of those into the city one day, be like, I saw an open mic online, and they're like, yep, sign up. So I will,
Oh
and
yeah.
when that time comes, I will let you know how it went.
Yeah. And make sure if there's a video or if you're doing anything like that, make sure you tag me so I can see it.
Fuck
I
yeah.
love the guitar. I love the guitar. So, do you like to work alone or would you rather like work with like collab with somebody? What do you like most?
100% alone. Uh, if what I would really like is a singer, somebody like Mayfield Mary, who I can just say, look, I wrote this. I don't think you've ever heard anything from Mayfield Mary. Mayfield Mary is dope. She's one of the people that I want to work with, but I want to write what I want her to sing and send it off and send like a vocal clip of myself doing the specific notes. Be like, hey, do this in the way that you do things because the way you do things is dope. If I do want to work with somebody, I want to write what they have to say, and I don't want to like get a feature from somebody and have them write it. It's like no. I got a vision, like, and my vision is it's like I need it to happen the way that I see it in my head. So bringing on people tends to invite their creativity. No. Like just bring your skill. Like that's the only thing I would say. I wanna compose things my own. I want to come up with the idea alone, and I want to make sure that whenever it's completed, it matches the thing in my head that before I even started working on it. So yeah, that's the general vibe I go for. Working alone is so much better for me.
Yeah,
Plus, I'm
yeah.
a fucking
See that? 'Cause
narcissist, and
in a
I'm
truck.
insufferable. So yeah.
So, how long does it take you to make a song or a track?
Well, I've been writing a verse and a hook every single day for the past 5 days between the judging period ending and the diamond round starting. So I mean, my process may be getting quicker, or I may just be on a creative oomph, like something's happening in my brain.
Mhm.
But usually, it doesn't take a. It's not a short endeavor. Like it takes a while. I write very, very slowly. I write very methodically. I know what I want to say, and it takes a very long time to come up with the words to translate whatever's in my head to whatever could be on the sound waves. It's very difficult. Very difficult. What up, Kudos? I haven't said hi to anybody. I've been
Yeah, I
ignoring
know.
all of
You
the
been
comments.
conversate. What's up, Robert? What's up, Reconcile? What's up, Kudos? What's up, Nathan? What's up, everybody who's watching? I'm engaging you guys. I got till about 4 o'clock ish my time.
Yeah.
So if we don't get done with this, we can always do part two.
Yeah.
So what's the longest you've spent on a track?
Oh man, there was a song called "Shoot" that I did. That was about me as a professional wrestler. Oh my god, the wrestling industry is crazy, and I sat there and thought up uh, this very very complex story for this track that I think is just it's like this crucial point like in my life. I think a good 3 months just trying to just listen to one instrumental over and over again. Like, how did this happen again? Oh yeah, that was shitty. Because it's just a track about tragedy and just like the worst kind of profession you could ever choose is anything in the wrestling industry. Fuck out of here. Like that's just a bad time.
So
Yeah.
he just sparked an idea of a question. It's not in my trusty notebook, but I'm gonna ask: do you like driving nights or do you like driving days better?
Well, the thing that what ends up happening is I get these short loads. Like, say I have a load that lasts 300, 400 miles. That's a daytime driving gig. But
Right.
sometimes I'll get really, really lucky, and they'll say, "Hey, we've got a 2,200-mile load for you," and that's 4 days of work. Yeah, that's 550 miles every single day. That's a full day. It's hard to get 600 miles a day. Like, you got to
Right.
be like constantly at 65 miles per hour to get 550 to 650 miles a day. Like, that is rough to get there, and that is prime time nighttime driving. Like, that is the way to go. Because what happens is around 4 to 6 o'clock, truck stops start filling up, and if you're driving in the daytime and you finally deliver your load and pick up a new empty trailer, and it's 7:30, you're fucked. Have fun trying to find a spot to park and sleep. You're gonna end up
Yeah,
being on
you
an
know.
off ramp or a
Who does?
rest area. Like, it's not good. So I mean, your best bet is to get up at 6 a.m. and to be done by 5:30 p.m. if you're day driving. But if you're night driving, you can get up around 8:30, 9:30 at night and go out and then park sometime between like 8 and 10 in the morning, where all kinds of spots are open for trucks. Like, you never have to worry about parking if you're a nighttime driver. And one of the worst parts about trucking is finding a place to park. So if you like nighttime driving, you get over one of the worst parts about the industry at all. So yeah.
That's dope. That's dope. Okay, this question's for me. As you can see, all my stuff, my superhero stuff. So, if you could choose one superhero to be, who would it be and why?
Mm,
I want to
mm.
know.
You know, of course, Tony Stark is my spirit animal. Like, what a dick! Like, fantastic. Like, just the brashness of Robert Downey Jr. in that role has always been great, and he portrays him so well. So I mean, that everything about Iron Man in general, I fuck with. Congo Madstack had his banner for one of his more recent rounds after he won be an Iron Man themed banner, and oh, it's kudos with the jokes. I don't think Sasquatch is a superhero though. It's like, fuck out of here, out of here, right? So
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
probably Iron Man. Yeah,
I like that. I'm gonna start calling you Stark.
there you go. Not bad. Not bad. It's better than Mater. So I fuck with it.
Yeah, yeah, I fucks with it too, cause I'm a Spider-Man fan. Like, watch the
Right.
see
Yeah. Fuck yeah. That's what's up.
my whole arm fucking is going into a Spider-Man sleeve. So
Not
I
bad.
marvel myself. So
There you go.
my goal here is to get to know you guys better, so we can have good vibes and not bad
Yeah.
vibes. So I know you said that you've been working on making beats and instrumentals, right? You've been doing that for a while, I guess.
Well, I mean, I compose guitar pieces, which I think is different. I'll
Okay.
outsource something like drums because on all of my tracks, I don't want it to be a drum machine. I don't want it to be
Yeah,
a drum kit. I want it to be actual drums from actual players with actual mic'd up instruments. So I mean, I outsource that. I'll play guitar, I'll play bass, I'll play piano, but I will send it off to have somebody do drums. They'll send it back to me. I'll give them notes. They'll do it again. They'll
that's
send it
dope.
back. I'll say, "Thank you for listening to the notes," and then I'll mix the drums, and that'll be that. So yeah.
So, like I said, with the man, with the instrumentals and the beats, would you rather make them or would you rather like, somebody make them for you and you rap,
I
make a song to it?
Yeah. I found a new producer through Instagram called Clark Make Hits, and I love his work. I He's got a spring deal going on where you can get 10 instrumentals sell them however many times you want, and they're all leased, and you can get, usually each of them is $25 a piece. But with this spring deal, you can get 10 of them for $25.
Well,
So
that's
I've taken
dope.
advantage of that twice already. I have 20 instrumentals by him, and I think I'm about to go and get 10 more. So I mean, like he's got hundreds in his like immediate that for the leases, and he's got an exclusive store that you can get them for like $50. But like his instrumentals have been great. Love Blute's instrumentals. I've gotten at least 6 from Jeff Blute. Jeff Blute has pretty good deals, and his instrumentals are top quality. And then motherfucker, and then there's Unk, who just sent me a remixed version of an instrumental I bought from him called X Marks the Spot. So I've been sitting there like trying to go along to that. But it really does. I have more freedom when I'm working with other people's music, because when I'm writing, not even when I'm recording the guitar, once I've started writing a guitar piece, I'm cursed with what I hear. Because even once the song is finished, I can't unhear the original thing in my head. The original concept for lyrics or melody. It's stuck
Oh,
there, and I'm
I
screwed.
tried that.
Yeah.
Like, for an example, with this round 79, oh my God, like I came up with it, and then like I thought it was kind of crappy, but I came up with it and I was like, dang. And then I tried to like be like, oh, try to write more to it, and it just, I don't know,
Yeah.
that just
It was,
stuck. I didn't
yeah.
like it.
Once you come up with, especially if I'm writing it on the instrumental or the instrument that I'm used to playing, if I hear it in my head, it's stuck there. It's a parasite. It will
Right.
will not go away. So that's the worst part about writing to your own instrumentals.
So what are some good songs and artists that you listen to while, like playlists, or, like every day, on an everyday
Enti-
basis?
yeah, entirely different from what I write myself. Something like Say Anything. Say Anything is a guy named Max Bemis. He wrote that song, Wow, I Can Get Sexual Too. Like, I called her on the phone and she touched herself. That fucking guy, you know? And Say Anything is just a band that writes about being crazy. And then you have some fucking Tegan and Sarah, which is like this indie lesbian punk pop stuff. Like, and it's just about being emotionally insecure. Fucking Ani DeFranco, who's just this hardcore feminist, and I'm not. Like, I don't agree with her worldview at all, but like I listen to her and it's just like that shit touched my soul. It's entirely different than what
Yeah.
I myself write, and it doesn't make any fucking sense. I barely listen to rap at all, unless it's a very select few artists like Joyner Lucas or Logic or old Eminem, because new Eminem, fuck.
Okay. So Kudos has a question for you. Shout out Kudos PD. What's the coolest place you have seen?
I would definitely say Colorado is pretty great. It's a toss up because Colorado, I am used to the mountains of North Carolina, where it's just mountain after mountain after mountain after mountain, and you're winding through these mountains, and it fucking sucks. But you go to Colorado, and you get flatlands for miles and miles, and in the distance, you'll see this tiny thing, and the mountain will just start to grow, and before you know it, you'll realize you've been looking at the same mountain for 20 minutes, it feels like, and you're just now passing by it, and you're looking up like, holy shit. And it's just, there's so much space in between these towering behemoth mountains. And I was night driving for almost every time I've gone through Colorado, so I got to see the sunset and the sunrise, on either side of Colorado multiple times now. And that shit was fucking awesome. But the problem was I didn't get to see a lot of shit between. I didn't get to see a lot of shit between. Like, once it was dark out, you kind of have to rely on a full moon. And even then, things are fucking gorgeous. Like, Colorado, as far as I can tell, is its prettiest when it's under a full moon. But it's a toss-up between that and parts of Utah and Wyoming. Utah and Wyoming, which are right on the border of Colorado, have the same kind of thing, except when you pass into Utah, everything takes on this brownish, reddish, I'm on Mars color. Like everything becomes, like you're on an extraterrestrial planet, So, I mean, Utah is fucking great, and Wyoming is really, 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 really high. Like, you're not going to get below 6,000 feet above elevation when you're in Wyoming. So you end
Give me
up
1
getting
second, please. I gotta open the door for the cat. There you go.
cordial. Yeah. Yeah. So, Wyoming's great. Wyoming, Utah, and Colorado. And I can't pick the best one, but at least they're all right beside each other so that they're all fresh in your mind whenever you visit them. So, I mean, you can go, Utah, pretty as shit. Colorado, dope. Wyoming, whoa. I mean, it's all there. So as long as you're in that area, yeah. Cheyenne.
Oh, go ahead.
He's talking about Cheyenne, Wyoming. Cheyenne. That's an area between I-25, which goes down through Fort Collins and Denver, and I-80, which takes you to Nevada and California. So I know all the interstates now. So yeah.
What albums did you grow up listening to?
So, I guess it's all like embarrassing shit. Like I was addicted to music really, really, really early on, and I made some pretty heavy like shifts in tone. Like, you go from listening to something like Blink-182 and Green Day, and that's all well and good. It's, kind of angry and angsty. And then I took a dark turn and started listening to things like Stained and Disturbed and just really depressing stuff. From about 10 to 16, it was just dark shit. Like, and I was on the dark train, and I was on the depressed music train. So, yeah. So really, really happy stuff in between like 10, well, I don't know, 5 and 8. And then from 8 to 10 or so, it was the Green Day stuff, Linkin Park eventually, then Disturbed, and fucking Stained. And those were, and Crossfade. Yeah. So, dark shit. Really, really, really dark shit. Your boy was depressed.
You like Blink-182?
I used to. I went to go see them in concert when I was a kid. Yeah. They would say weird shit like, I'm going to put my balls on this one, you guys. I'm going to put my balls on this one. You want me to put my balls on this one? And the crowd would go crazy. It's like, And I'm looking over at my mom beside me like, this is not good. This is not good.
It's funny. I wish I could see them, man. They came to Grand Rapids 2 days before my birthday, like last year. I didn't get to go. So what would be your dream collab?
Oh my God. Oh. Huh.
It could be a producer too.
I don't pay all that much attention to producers, actually. Gosh, that's really difficult to say. Like, I mean, of course, you want to say somebody who's gonna like bring up like your level. Like, you gotta bring your best, but you also think if they bring their best, they can't like absolutely shit on you so that you ruin the song. So I mean, at one point in time, I would say like Eminem, but he's fallen off so hard that I wouldn't be caught dead on an Eminem track right now. Like,
oh my God!
Me to be like, no.
We're gonna get on that topic here in just 1 second. So, what music are you influenced by, like these days, like this day and age, like not older stuff?
Yeah, I mean, Joyner Lucas is one of them, but I would barely consider that music since it's like this combination of storytelling via video. And then there's people like Logic, and Logic's pretty fantastic. Say Anything's always going to be great. Something that I'm trying to get out of is a somber kind of feel. So I've been listening to things that have higher BPM, that have major sounding music behind them. So, I mean, just getting out of the minor kind of feel that some music brings, getting out of I got the harshest burn of my life one time that made me consider like that I needed to make this change. Somebody said, "You sound like Edgar Allan Poe if he rapped," and it's like, oh, 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 no, no. It was harsh. I got. So yeah, that's the biggest thing. People who are like pushing me towards major keys and like happier sounding cadences. Yeah.
So, are there like any of like events like around you or that's happening in the world that you're concerned about, like would like to express about?
No, I mean I'm not worried. I mean I the
I mean, not worry,
yeah
but
I'm not worried. No, there's no but. There's no but. I'm not worried. Like
okay,
I don't.
that's
That
dope.
shit doesn't bother me. Like the worst things in the world that continue to happen. Eh, I'm good. I'm gonna be all right. I have a very selfish outlook. No worries at all. So,
What made you interested in hip hop?
hmm, Eminem, of course, early on, my dad showed me the hi. My name is what? My name is, and my attitude changed.
Oh,
Uh,
mine too.
well, not in a good way. Like I started acting like a little shit, like a total asshole. I wouldn't listen to my coaches when they were like on like basketball day and shit. And he was just
Hmm.
like, I'm gonna take this music away from you if you keep acting this way. You're changing. And yeah, I started getting really aggressive. I was what 11, maybe 10 to 11, something like that, when I first heard Eminem. So yeah, I mean, like Eminem and violence in general was very, very fascinating to me when I was first introduced to it. So yeah,
How do you feel about his newer stuff? Seems how you're
trash.
talking.
Kill yourself immediately.
Oh my God, man. The view that I don't know what the fuck he was doing, man. Like, I understand like with some subs, you gotta like, some people step out of their comfort zone, which I feel like that's what he tried to do, but he fucked it up.
Yeah, it
Fucked
was just dog shit. I couldn't even get through. I tried. I tried. I eventually listened to every single one. I was like, maybe there's a light at the end of the tunnel. But he made a threequel. He made Relapse, then he made Recovery, and then he made this bullshit Revival. It's a sequel to his least popular albums. It's like, sir, get back on the drugs, my friend. Like it's
it.
nonsense. Kill another one of his best friends for fuck's sake.
Puke
Ugh.
in the bathroom, man.
Yeah.
So, what are some like underestimated artists on like YouTube or like SoundCloud? They're like underrated. Like,
So there is PFV, PFV, and it's short for Postcards from Veronica. He's a guy from out in Ohio. He has one of his more recent albums was called Heat Waves, WAV, like the audio format that you use when you're you know bouncing down music. He's fantastic. Um, there's a guy named Voss from Philadelphia. He went on fucking BET's Freestyle Friday and defended his win 4 times in a row, meaning he was a Freestyle Friday champion. Maybe it was VH1, I don't remember. Whatever the case, he went on TV and fucking murked that shit. So Voss from Philadelphia, PFV from Ohio, and that's enough. Like those are elite level guys. They are better than the vast majority of things you'll accidentally hear on the top 40 list. Uh, so yeah, Voss and PFV, I would say.
bring up a high point in your music and bring up like the lowest point in your music.
But yeah, he's
Like,
right. Matt, Matt is exactly who PFV is. Kudos. That's what's up. You already know then. Oh yeah, the highest point and lowest point. I don't know. I guess I was releasing a song every week for my Bear With Me album, and it was just a dark time, and I didn't want to do it, and I was procrastinating up until the day that I was supposed to release the song whenever I recorded the song. So I just ended up releasing dog shit music just because I had promised myself that I would. Like, at least I stuck to my promise, but the end result was something I just wasn't happy with. I can't even listen to the songs, even though they're still out there. And I guess my best time in music is when I had the highest following that I did from my hometown. Like, I guess I should rep my city because my city rep me. You know, it's like if you can't make it in your hometown, you can't make it anywhere. I just happened to make it in my hometown, and I resented it because I hated the people there. It was just full of druggies and people that I didn't want anything to do with. But apparently, I make really good music for listening to heroin too. So I mean, that shit, you know, that's I don't know exactly how that works out. But when I first made my album Trash Lounge in 2012, all the junkies were like passing that shit around between each other. And I was really well known amongst like the friends of my friends, people who I didn't even know would be like, "Oh, I know you," and they would say some of the lines from my album, like I got a home, I got a girl back home and my home girl back for one of the songs, or I got a way to handle, there's a handle on the way. Love that line, man. He's like, you want a beer? You know, shit like that.
So, with that being said, it's 4:01, and the part one is has to be over. So I'll ask one more question. Seems I'll ask one more question, and then we'll get on to the ending. So, what's your favorite verse in one of your songs? Your favorite verse.
Well, I guess you could listen to Good Grief. It's about one of my grandparents dying, my last grandparent dying. That's my round 56 song, and my round 55 song was about my grandmother dying. So they both died within a month of each other. And when I was dealing with it, I kind of found some truth that I laid bare in my round 56 song. So yeah, my round 56 first verse song. Just one snippet of it.
Can you send that to me?
Yeah, sure. Okay. I'll link it to you.
Okay. Well,
All
is there anything that you would like to say before we get up off of here?
My name is Dashin fucking Grizzly. You can check it out on youtube.com/Dashin Grizzly. Same thing with Twitter. Same thing with Snapchat. Same thing with pretty much everywhere on the internet. Just look up Dashin fucking Grizzly. Just Dashin Grizzly. It should be great. So that's it, ladies and gentlemen. What a great time it's been. I've talked your fucking ear off.
And we'll get to part 2 sometime next time.
Sometime next time.